Good evening and welcome along to Brisbane Road, East London, for this Conti Cup ever appearance in the semi-final of a major competition. And Manchester City very much the favourites, having already defeated Sport, that this space is for all of us to enjoy, regardless of your identity. Off and underway then in the final of the force. English weather playing up as it has a tendency to do in our cold winters. But no doubt, and here's Chloe Kelly. She's always going on, charging down the wing, very hard to stop. Slightly heavy touch from Clinton. That win securing City's passage through, top of Group B with 10 points. Is Shaw. Shaw is a corner. Put her hand up immediately with the authority of a player who knew it had taken a little flick on the way through just 10 days ago. First corner of the game. Too close to Barbara Vidal from things last time around under Rhian Skinner. It's brought, as well as some new signings and fresh impetus, a real. They led 3 times in normal time. Did also beat the Gunners in the WSL. That's another mark of progress here. Slides it through. Possibilities here for Spurs. Martha Thomas cuts inside, but Alexandrian have just scored, just as I said that. Here goes Clinton playing it inside, losing out to Hasegawa. Feast of Conti Cup football tonight. Neat passing possession from Manchester City. Manchester City, where they actually had to fight back to draw 2-2. Tena Castellanos now departed and Laura Coombs scoring to get them the draw. But then rotation, an important part of things. Jess Park back for Greenwood, who Manchester City fans will be very... Ball sent a little more directly forward, and it's fallen for Park, who plays it inside. Slightly careless loss of possession from Clinton, and now Hemp can build. Intricate touches. Kelly still making something of it. Hasegawa gets there before Clinton. Played down the line, they've worked that overload really nicely. Manchester City ankle knock. Hemp gets it away. Playing advantage in Manchester City's favour. Park still going. Has a... And now we'll come back for treatment. Spurs for now down to 10. Slightly heavy touch from Wang. Hasegawa. Alish coming inside to a central midfield position, like you see a lot of modern fullbacks doing. Manchester City zip does seem to enjoy playing Spurs. Has 4 goals and 4 assists in her career against. Hasegawa at the base of the midfield. Now Shaw dropping deep to link the play. One of the real focal points, but such an impressive part of her game. The cup action to look forward to at the weekend. Spurs at home against Charlton in a Saturday in Hove Albion. Nottingham Forest have got a home tie as well against WSL opposition, playing Everton. Bartrip, such a good distributor out from the back, now carrying it forward. And then clips it forward. Wang loses out to Hasegawa. And now Manchester City will fancy their chances to build something. Park. Lots of space here for Kelly. Really test Barbara Votikova with a shot. It ended up not quite being either. Very high bar that we're used to expecting from Chloe Kelly, such as her brilliance. Scored a really important second goal to all but kill, which meant that Liverpool stay above Spurs in the table. Liverpool 5th, Spurs 6th. The gap goal difference. Manchester struggling for one of the top 3 spots to get them into a European journey the following campaign. Right boot of Kelly. They do go short as predicted, and that sets up Hasegawa. Quite catch it cleanly. Japanese international certainly can produce moments of magic. Way back on the 16th of October 2022 against Leicester City, she's more often providing from deep. A short. Khadija Bunny Shaw. Spurs have been our only victims of Khadija Bunny Shaw's brilliance. Clipped forward, what a ball that is. And it's found Wang Shuai. He's such an impressive all-round forward, does so much more than just score goals. Not the best pass. Alexandri kept things moving though. Kelly trying to work her way through, well defended by Amanda Nielden. Hasegawa. No, speaking to a few different scouts and analysts, there's a feeling that one of the reasons why Spurs particularly struggle against Manchester. Nice from Clinton. Now Bartrip. Clinton again. Particularly Manchester City. Neil then loses it in a tight space against Kelly. Kelly's cross. Edged out Becky Spencer when it comes to the battle for the #1 jersey at Spurs. Ball clipped forward towards Thomas. Across the wider extent of her career that she's become a left-sided centre-back as opposed to a left-back. And part of it was actually due to a big... Well, this is going to be a talking to, and it could be a yellow card. Just a quick word for Kit Graham, who made sure that Yui Hasegawa was going part of things here. Hugely experienced as well, once of Manchester United, Liverpool, Notts County, and Hemp once more, Wahabi. Now Park. Park's ball. Slightly clumsy challenge as the half goes on. That's very classic Manchester City. Lauren Hemp and Chloe Kelly consistently switching flanks, causing all sorts of problems. As here comes Hemp again, was looking. Hasegawa. Hasegawa to strike one. Oh, that's magnificent. Her first Manchester City goal in almost a moment of magic from the Japanese international. A well-worked short set piece. Hasegawa let rip, and there was nothing wide of Hasegawa's right boot. And it's her first goal since scoring on her Manchester City. But my goodness me, a goal of that quality was certainly worth waiting for. Albeit anyone. About 10 minutes ago, where Hasegawa couldn't quite get the shot on target, so there was a warning shot in that sense, but take nothing away from the quality of the strike. Super stuff from Yui Hasegawa. And in comes the ball. Real. Little touch on from Angeldal. Just a minute before the second half, before the end of the first half, I should say, for #2. Kennedy on for Hasegawa. Wang. They're still yet to really test Kara Keating. Maybe that changes here. Crossfield ball for Neil Den. Neil Den offering herself on the outside. Wang instead looked for Thomas. Made it through to the semi-finals of the Women's World Cup last year. Well, has played in England before, a spell with Brighton, where she said without that she wouldn't be where she is. Described it as a dream to come back to the WSL, as that's... Link the play and find Kelly. Kelly decided to have a shot, comes back for Hemp, who before, almost 2 years ago to the day, the 3rd of February 2022, this was a semi-final fixture. Manchester City winning 3-0. Park, Shaw and Hemp also. Manchester City into the final, where they came from behind to beat Chelsea 3-1. Since departed to Real Madrid, Caroline Weir didn't quite make it through to Thomas. Kennedy was there. Sumanen lofts it very high. Kelly. Really would be a dagger in Spurs' hearts. Maybe Hemp's about to deliver it. Hemp's cross towards Shaw. Albeit and only a one-goal margin in it. Yui Hasegawa's fine strike, just her second ever goal for the... and a 9th straight win in all competitions. Spurs now kicking from left to right as we look at things. Going to their bench at half-time. We're seeing this a lot more with teams having 5 subs available rather than 3. And it is since joining. Left England just over a year ago. From Chelsea, Martha Thomas. Kelly with Shaw to aim for. Slightly nervous to City press. In behind. She will offer a different threat up there in the way that in this cup tie, but we'll just want the nerve settler of a second goal. Only takes one moment of brilliance from Swedish striker Stina Blackstenius. The difference. Spurs losing 3-1 in the quarter-finals against Chelsea. Graham. Nice 1-2. Sets it up for Grant to cross. Kennedy. Had to be wary. Ticking the ball around here with real purpose, and now Hemp crossing towards Shaw. Familiar combination. Came with well with Becky Spencer at Spurs. But that can all change in a second. Keating forward towards Hemp. Grant's header. Bartrett clear. Mental health issues and having anorexia nervosa as a teenager. She's the Spurs right. Clinton tends to prefer occupying the left, and Villahammer will hope that she can feed Arsenal, who have 6. Chelsea have won it twice. Those so-called big 3 teams are the only 3 teams to have ever won it. Goes round the outside, clips the cross in towards Shaw. Newton Shaw score from, albeit you wouldn't put anything past her. Back in again towards Hemp, who tries one on. Lauren Hemp off target. The Queen of Norfolk, England's flying winger. He scored that. It's already well past 100 games for Manchester City. It's remarkable to think she's only 23. As I can tell you that Chelsea have got, well, more than a foot. They are into the Champions League quarter-finals, and they were in the group stages. The Black Cats, currently 2nd in the Championship, are going out. Intriguing battle on between Brighton and Fiatri Sari, so that game is heading for extra time. Here goes Spurs, looking to build. Clinton. Graham. Of a breakthrough season, Grace Clinton. Naz up there up against Hasegawa. Shaw. Khadija Bunny Shaw, who's only 3 off the Manchester City all-time scoring record. She has 64 Dato for that notable number. Here's Angeldal, puts it across. Debut last November was being tracked by several top European clubs, but having worked before with Robert Villahammer. Hasegawa, the goal scorer. There's no twist in the tail, and that it is to be yet another win against Tottenham. Wahhabi's got right in behind here, has ghosted through. And comes the cross towards Shaw. Teasing cross from Kelly. Shaw's just slightly off balance. Their customary goal against Spurs tonight, because that header was her last chance to do so. Yanabula, the backup centre-half, would seem a less obvious choice. On the bench yet tour of the game. Spurs are right in the contest. Kelly. Plays it back for Coombs. Really important block in there in the nick of time. Over from Mary Fowler with near enough her first touches since coming down nicely. But the Australian international couldn't test Votikova. It is said in more recent times we're starting to see the player we all thought that we would see. Here's Park with options left and right. Goes right, Hemp. Checks onto her preferred left foot. Was looking for Coombs. Might fall for Hasegawa. Hasegawa. Park. Helped on to Wahabi, who's all too happy to... Fowler's cross. Falls for Kelly. Kelly trying to get the shot. Manchester City looking still 1-3-1. The only blot on that head-to-head copybook for City is the game that's at Manchester City, thanks to a somewhat fortuitous goal, one might say, where was that just the two. Hasegawa on Keating. So good at passing their way out of trouble. Fowler up there fighting for it, but Veenberry's won it. And then we'll continue our run on. When you're so on your hustle that they ask the landlord to raise the rent, in terms of Robert Villahamon being tactically flexible, makes for interesting viewing. Here's Naz, good feed. Spurs building something, Graham. Then just... Spurs still believing him. Although interestingly, a lot's changed since then. Ellie Roebuck, Alana Kennedy, Alex Greenwood, Demi Stokes and Lauren Hemp. The only one is Shaw. Ball over the top is a brilliant one for Fowler, who can finish it here. And Votikova did flick it over. A good save from the Czech keeper. Fowler got it out of her. And comes another corner. Came off Greenwood, did into the last minute of the 90. I would suspect ball in play time at very much an above average level across the piece. Great ball forward towards Ayan, just a slightly heavy tee. WSL winners in 2016 and winners of this competition 4 times. They'll be asked. Fowler in the corner. Up. The 4-time winners continue their dominance in this fixture, and they book a spot in the last 4 that finishes here in East London.